You need to be strategic about this. They're gonna be more inclined to believe that you deserve that spot, which I haven't really heard anybody talk about. They shouldn't know that. They're not even gonna review your application, your gateway to admission. You'd be surprised how easy it is to make a mistake. A deal breaker for some universities. It's kind of like your speed dating, the perfect activities list. Funnily enough, the US wasn't even on my college list. So if you're an international student trying to navigate the process of applying to the US for undergrad, you are in the right place. Hey guys, it's Setu. It's that time of the year again. No, summer. I'm not talking about summer. It's college application season. This is the season where you're struggling with schoolwork, scrambling to write essays, balance extracurriculars, and low on mental health. But actually, it doesn't have to be. From YouTube videos to college webinars to talking to my counselor to blogs, this video is all of the information I wish I knew when I was applying as an undergraduate international student, condensed into one video. Here is everything we are going to cover in this video. Everything I talk about in this video is a condensed version of my new ebook, which you can find on Amazon. This ebook is a detailed description and guide of the wealth of knowledge I have gained throughout the application process. It also includes a complimentary fillable ebook called the University Journal that walks you through the process. And I am more than confident that this will help you with your applications. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then you can find my ebook by clicking the first link in the description box down below. And I promise you, if there is one thing you will get from this, it is clarity. Part 1. Creating your college list. Now this is the part you should spend the most amount of time on. You might think maybe I should spend more time on my essays or working on my startup. However, making your college list is like your map. This is your map to navigate the college process. And girl, if your map don't have the right instructions, you're gonna be lost, you're gonna be stranded, and you're not gonna know where to go. The first part to this is identifying your criteria. I want you to think about what exactly you want in a university, and here's a few things to consider. Number 1, location. Size of the university. Thirdly is the academics. I know some people have very niche programs that they want to get into, which is not offered everywhere. Campus culture and extracurricular activities. Now for the most part, most of these colleges offer the same things. Parties, great teachers. As just going beyond the website, at the end of the day, the website is just marketing. So go to Reddit, guys. Reddit is where it's at. r/applying to colleges. The best way to go about making your list is by viewing them in 3 distinct categories: your safeties, your targets, and your reaches. Now your safeties are those schools that you would get into in a blink of an eye. In fact, they probably want you more than you want them. Your targets are schools that are your level. Think about we match, we vibe. And finally, reaches are your dream. These universities are a solid 10, but if you get in, it's prestigious and awesome. Ivy Leagues would come under this category. I applied to an Ivy League early decision actually, and I ended up getting deferred and then waitlisted. But in the long run, I definitely realized that it's fit over prestige always. Part 2, starting your application. All US applications go through the Common App. This is basically, as the name suggests, one common platform for you to apply to all of your universities. You can then proceed to add colleges, so add all of the colleges that are on the list you made, and then you'll essentially get to see all the requirements in terms of essays for each college. Now, one of the main parts of the Common App is the activities and awards, so let's talk about it. An award is something you essentially either got nominated for or you received. Now, it's very important that you try to avoid adding participation certificates in this. Moving on to the activities. Now, there is a lot that goes into making the perfect activities list. Almost too much for me to actually fit into one video. However, for now, I want to leave you with 3 key points. Number 1, choose your activities. Now, you don't want to just write out everything that you've done in your life, in your high school, and just put the ones that you like the best or that sound the best. Number 2, you need to be able to craft some kind of persona with your activity. Make sure you put the best activities at the top of your activities list and the ones that are at the bottom, because, well, your admissions officer is still a human being. Part 3, everyone's favorite, grades. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you because academics is extremely important, and I mean your GPA. Your GPA has to be good. In fact, so many universities actually have cutoffs for GPAs. So let's just say you have an amazing application, but the cutoff for their GPA is like 3.8 and you got a 3.7. They're not even gonna review your application. So your GPA is what gets your foot through the door. I have a few videos on how to study. You might want to check that out, but overall, you do need to put in the work. You do need to get the good grades. Part 4, writing essays. Think of essays as your message to the university, right? This is you and the university having a text conversation. So you want to be authentic first and foremost. I will be making a whole other video all about essays, including sharing my Common App essay. But a general overview of the process is that you will have one Common App essay that goes to all of your universities, and then you'll have supplemental essays. So they're going to be asking a little bit more university specific questions. Your supplementals can tend to be really important, especially for more higher tier institutions, Ivy Leagues, top 20s. This is your moment. This is your moment with the admissions officer one-to-one. Let them know who you are. Let them know what you have to deliver. Now, this is something I discovered just doing the process myself, which I haven't really heard anybody talk about. Doing college applications is a little bit like dating. It's kind of like your speed dating because you're telling every single one of these people that you love them. It doesn't matter if you love one a little more than the other. They shouldn't know that. Every university that you write to, you want to make them feel like they're the only girl/boy in the world. You want to get to know your university, and you want your admissions officer to feel like, okay, they've put in the effort to get to know us, they like us. Let's see if we like them. They're going to be more inclined to believe that you deserve that spot if you show them that you do. Part 5, letters of recommendation. It is essentially another person who can verify everything you say. Ideally, a recommender should be somebody that you have a close relationship with, or somebody that knows you well and will be able to comment on your progress or your very specific attributes. Second step is requesting your recommenders. Now, it is very important that you are proactive with this. Don't make them write you a last-minute sloppy recommendation letter. Part 6, what everybody's been waiting for, financial aid. It is most definitely possible to study in the US as an undergrad without putting a dent in your parents' pocket. First thing is you need to understand that financial aid is not scholarships. When I say scholarships, I'm talking about external programs or programs by the university that are willing to give you some kind of offering that essentially sponsors you to study. Whereas financial aid is more the university basically accommodating your education. There's two different things. So there's the FAFSA and there's a CSS. Both of these are applications for financial aid. However, FAFSA can only be filled by US nationals. Some universities tend to have only FAFSA, in which case they do not accommodate providing aid for international students, so you might be deterred from putting them on your list. As an international, you're going to have to fill this thing called the CSS profile. Ideally, your parents should fill this in because it has a lot of monetary information. It all leads up to you providing a figure value of the amount you can afford to pay per year. And the university will then try their best, if you're accepted, to meet that need. Now, in my opinion, if you have the talent, if you have the merit, if you have the grades, and finances is the only thing holding you back, this CSS profile really is your gateway to admission. A lot of universities are looking for diversity and interesting voices. Part 6, another favorite, scholarships. Firstly, there are many different types of scholarships. It's more often than not based off of your merit, your academics, and just things you've done. So you can apply to scholarships that are university specific, which may or may not be for international students. Scholarships often require you to write extra essays and do interviews, and the key here is to make sure that you aren't missing deadlines, because often the Common App deadlines are different from the scholarship deadlines. So it's important to make sure you have a kind of calendar system or note-taking system in order to keep you on track. And lastly, part 8, submitting your application and some last-minute advice from me. Firstly, review your application. Please, please, please double check, triple check. We hear it all the time, but actually you'd be surprised how easy it is to make a mistake, especially in like the activities list. This might be a little bit controversial, but chill a little bit, because sometimes we can tend to over edit our own work. Gotta remember that even though we're striving to be our best, there is no such thing as perfection, especially with college applications. So once you reach a decent point with one application, make sure you're not spending all your time on that. You're able to focus your attention on all the universities you're applying to. And you made it all the way to this point in the video, so I just know you're a real one. So here's a little third underrated tip. Show demonstrated interest, guys. If you show interest for the university through external ways, like signing up for their mail list or talking to the university representative in your region, it's a really important box for you to check off to give yourself that guarantee that you are a worthy candidate. A lot of the times, this can also be a deal breaker for some universities. Sometimes these regional representatives can also be so useful and even offer to read your essay, so it's really something you don't want to miss out on. I applied to about 15 universities in the US and a few in the UK and also in the Netherlands, and it's hard to live in that uncertainty, but please don't forget to still enjoy life, enjoy school. These are your last few years. You don't want it to just be looking back and seeing yourself slouched on your desk with your horrible posture, but also know when to prioritize your future. And I believe if you're still watching right now, you are a true core member of this community, and I really appreciate you for that. Because of that sole reason, this is my email, and if you have any questions or inquiries or concerns that you can't find the answers to on Google, then do use this email to contact me and I will get back to you shortly. First of all, thank you guys so much for all of the love and support on my IB reactions video. I see it and I appreciate it. And the strategy is coming, guys, slowly but surely. And of course, make sure to keep treating people with kindness and make yourself a priority.